Gunz, The Gunz Show, live, Madison Square Garden, #1 internet iTunes music radio show in the world. Listen to this, over 9 million tune-ins on Shoutcast alone for the month of May, which is more balling than not balling. Am I right, Jordan?
That's insane.
I know that voice. That's
the epitome of balling, I think.
That's Jordan from the Ready Set. Hello, sir. Great American you are.
Hello, how are you doing this lovely evening?
Yes, this lovely evening's going rather pretty well for myself. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing swell. I'm just hanging around and not doing anything.
Yeah, which is kind of, sometimes you just need to do that, you know?
It's great sometimes, but sometimes it's the worst.
Now, I got to say this because, you obviously got hardcore Ready Set fans out there all over the globe. And a couple weeks ago, probably less than a couple weeks ago, I was like, you know what? I've been playing the hell out of the new Ready Set song, Give Me Your Hand. And I was like, let's call Jordan, why not? And you actually, and you came on, so I really appreciate you coming on. But you're back on again right now, so thank you.
I'm back. It's part 2 of the previous week's chat we had. So it's really, I like to consider this a nice follow up. Just make sure we covered all the points we had to make.
Exactly. Now listen, Give Me Your Hand. It's available now on iTunes. Also, it's twitter.com/the Ready Set, facebook.com the Ready Set, blah blah blah. The song's balling, dude. I mean, the response has been very good as well.
Thank you. That's awesome, man. I'm excited about it. It's been a while since I've been able to put out anything just like full force. Like the last EP I did was just kind of it was almost like under the radar a little bit. So it's great to finally kind of just be back just pushing something hard, and it's been a blast to play that song live. So I'm excited about it and just get to see kind of what happens.
Right. Now we were at the Raleigh-Palooza not too long ago, which was nearly sold out. So.
Yeah, that was fun. But
I heard the new song there live, and from there I was just excited for it because it had gotten pushed back from time to time, and it was almost not really frustrating, but from an artist standpoint, such as yourself, and every time you come on the Gunz Show now for years since you first started, you're always constantly writing, dude. You're always in the studio, right?
Yeah, because you're right about the thing getting pushed back. Something is always getting pushed back. Like if I say something comes out in May, it's going to come out in July. Basically, that seems to be the common situation. So my way of dealing with that is just constantly writing, just being all right, I'll deal with whenever something comes out, but I want to have stuff ready to go for the future, so that it's never just I never want to be in that position where it's time to put out a new song and I'm oh, I don't have anything to release. So it's literally every day I'm trying to write a song, trying to get something done, and just trying to keep myself busy,
Right. And clearly it's working out for you as you speak here with Jordan, the Ready Set. Now with this song, it was done for quite some time, but let's talk about what this is going to be on. Obviously, the EP came out, had Killer, had some other tracks on it, which did well, and crowd favorites, have become crowd favorites, which is kind of cool. Because normally I feel like with an EP sometimes, I don't know if fans always react positively to EPs as far as knowing the songs, Yeah,
exactly. I feel a lot of times EP stuff kind of slips through the cracks, which is actually kind of cool sometimes, because I feel when you put out an EP and people react really well to certain songs, it almost becomes kind of their thing. I think a lot of times it can become just the album or the short group of songs people kind of gravitate to, just because it is so not out in the open that I think it almost adds an element of I don't know, people being able to relate to it a little more.
More realness, especially with the artists.
Yeah.
It's when they come out with a limited edition T-shirt or something, and
exactly.
And a fan has it. You're damn, dude, there were only 300 of those made. That's cool that you took the time to do that.
Yeah, it's not none of the songs on that EP were they were never at radio or anything like that. So it was I wrote that and did that whole EP just the kind of diehard fans can have something to get into until the album comes out, just to kind of tide people over, which that was basically served its purpose, I guess. People got really into the stuff like Killer and all that. That's still my favorite song to play live, just
damn
because
right.
The reaction for that song specifically just blew me away. I had no idea that that was going to be the song on that people got into, but it's awesome because it's my favorite one and makes me feel like I'm doing, something right.
Something positive, hopefully.
Mm.
Twitter.com/The Ready Set. You have street teams all over the globe. Some of them tweet me back with your name on it in a whole different language. I don't even know what language it is. So
I love that.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
It's always good trying to decipher that. It's like go to Alta Vista and use the translator, and
Exactly.
That's how I got through. That's how I got through Spanish class in high school. I would go to Alta Vista, and I would translate everything. But
I used to do that too, but it would always come out as like super broken, and I always felt like the teacher could like see right through that. You use the translator. That I can tell because it's like the most like backwards sounding thing ever.
Right, exactly. I want to bring this up because you've been on a bunch. I think like one of your first ever interviews was kind of here in the Gunz Show studios back in like legit, right? Like before the EP.
I think that was the first. That was like one of the first interview things I ever did, and also I think that was the last time that I actually came to like the studio and actually did it. Like ever since then, we've just been doing phone stuff. I think,
yeah,
right?
Which is not balling. I mean, phone's fun, but
I gotta come back. And there was that day I was in New York all day doing nothing, and I could have stopped by, and we still ended up doing it on the phone anyway, which that sounded actually fairly provocative, which is cool.
Which would have been balling, yes. You were Jordan, last time he was on, you called it like 11 a.m. You just woke up. You were not happy about anything. And you were going into the city. And we were like, well, you could have just done that your own.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense. And I had my cool early morning voice on, which is like 10 steps lower than my normal voice.
Right.
So that's always that. That makes for a very it's like a husky kind of manly interview. I loved it.
Right, of course. Now, I want to ask you this, because like you said, you've been on before in the past, but Pete Wentz's birthday was yesterday.
It was.
Talk about, like, the first time you kind of came around. Like, how did that whole meeting come around, like, that you met him?
I think my manager kind of knew him through some, like, mutual friends and stuff like that, and he had been sending out my songs to labels and all that, so Pete was kind of the first one to be like, hey, I'm into this, so he came out and saw us play at the Knitting Factory when that was still open in Hollywood.
Okay.
And I remember I was just like, oh my gosh, it was the first time like anybody famous has ever had any interest in coming out and seeing our show. So I was like, oh my god, this is crazy. Like all like the dudes in the band are like big fans of Fall Out Boy and stuff. So
obviously, it's fucking Fall Out Boy, yo.
Exactly. So I remember it was crazy because like it was like a huge ordeal for him to come into the venue like super secretly, and like he had like security dude with him, and it was a big thing, and like he stepped out for a second and kids like freaked out. I was like, wow, this is crazy, but it was cool. Like it was definitely like one of those things where it just felt like things were kind of like really moving along in like a cool way. So yeah, he's been like such a great help with stuff and just like all around good dude.
Right, and also like just especially since that was like the beginning, just the fact that he even it kind of just all went from there with Decadence and everything.
It really did. Like they've been like just amazing with everything because they kind of do the things that major labels sometimes don't do. Where like it's like they kind of like attack things from different angles in terms of like they're just like really great with like street team stuff and like just the kind of things that you think might not be the biggest deal, but really like they help so much and just like really help like get bands' names out and kind of really take things to like another level for sure.
And I can bring that up to you because I used to work at Drive Thru when I was like 13 and 14. That's how I kind of got involved. And like when the starting line was Sunday Drive at the time, and like Finch before Finch and all that. But you recently, I remember telling you this in person. People did not expect you to like some of the bands that you mentioned, I think on like Ultra the Press or something, that are some of your favorite bands, including like not Lagwagon, but Lawrence Arms and shit, right?
Yeah, that was so funny to me that like the response that got was hilarious because I don't know. I mean, I kind of assumed people wouldn't realize that I was into that kind of stuff, but that was the stuff that like I feel like it was like. Those were like the pinnacle bands for me for music. Like those were the like game changers for me. Like I don't know, like Lawrence Arms, huge one, like Saves the Day, especially, and like just all that kind of stuff. Like I grew up listening to like when I was like way younger, I was into like NoFX and like Melancholy, like AFI and like Rise Against and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So like
I don't know. It's funny because people are like, no way. You know?
Yeah, I mean, like looking at what I do now is so completely different, and it's obviously like musically not the same at all. But I think, if anything, I might have taken away like some of like the ethic from that kind of stuff in terms of like just working hard and doing things kind of on your own and like building something from the ground up. I think that's probably more what resonated with me over time.
And the thing is with you, you're not doing this for a fad or anything like that. Like, you are working your ass off. There's times, and I can attest to this, you won't go out when you're on a tour because you might have a song idea in your head and you just want to like lay it down or something like that, like in the bus or whatnot.
Yeah, that actually happens a lot. Like, I'll just end up hanging out and like just like there's a lot of times I'll be writing something, like working on a track just in the front lounge, literally watching a party happening, but just will like hardly be involved with it. Like, I'll just kind of hang out and like witness the whole thing while I'm just like like poking away at keyboard or whatever. So it's kind of funny. Like, I'm just like the creepy dude in the corner with like a tiny keyboard and a laptop, just like lurking there.
Hey guys.
Yeah. Like, I just want to watch the party happen.
My internet friends. Yeah. Now listen, we spoke last week. Give Me Your Hand is the new single. Well, at least the new song. Are we considering it a single or just a new song?
I believe we are. Yeah, we're working on getting like a video ready. Like, gonna start, I think, doing that whole thing in July, and then just going from there. But it's definitely the first single off of this next album. And
now we spoke a couple weeks ago, or I guess a week ago, and I brought up to you that there is a music video out there with this girl that is doing sign language throughout the video. And I told you that I thought, based on the comments, that she was actually a real, or like partially deaf. Did we find out if she was or not? Or do we?
I'm pretty sure she's not, because I know what ended up happening was they did like a casting call, and they were going to do this thing where they just taught whoever was like the potential person sign language, just to like see who could like pick it up the quickest, like who was the best for the video. And like, I'm pretty sure she's not, but
if she is, more props to her.
Yeah, if she is, that's awesome, and I feel bad for not knowing, but I'm pretty sure she's not.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, too, as well. After I said that on air, people were like, dude, I think you're wrong. I was like, fuck, he's going to kill me. So I apologize for that.
For all I know, I mean, maybe it's not even the real sign language stuff, but I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure they looked into it.
Now, you guys can YouTube it. It's the Ready Set, Give Me Your Hand. It's the official video, and then buy it on iTunes. Make sure you pick it up. But has anyone come up to you now with the dance or with the actual sign language motions yet, or no?
Not yet. I mean,
God,
I'm hoping it happens. Like, if the best situation ever would be just to have a bunch of people at a show just like sign the whole thing while they're playing it. Like, that'd be phenomenal. But we haven't, like, the last show I think we played was that Lollapalooza one. Like, we're not touring this summer. We're just doing like a few one-offs here and there until the fall, I think. So it's I don't know. Hopefully by that time, there's some professional sign languages out there in the crowd ready to
learn it.
Sign party with us.
Well, listen, the first time someone comes up to you out there, I will send them a free Suns Out, Guns Out tank top, which of course are, that is probably the best gift someone could ever get.
That is the best gift. That's all. I mean, I've been asking for that for Christmas for like 6 years now.
It's true. Listen, Jordan, awesome person, great person. Music, how many songs are done?
I'm creeping up on 40 right now, but it's I think I like about 7 of them. Okay. So really making progress. The other 33 or whatever are kind of just whatever. But
quarter 4, quarter 1 release. Are we thinking?
Oh man, I don't know really. I mean, I want to say it's going to be out in the fall, but every time I say something's going to come out, it's usually like way later. So I'm just going to say it will happen at some point, and I'm unsure when. But I'm working really hard. I'm trying to get it done.
And you'll let the gun show now?
Yes, I will let the gun show now.
Perfect, man. You're a great American. I like Pawn Stars more than Storage Wars, but apparently...
Do you?
Yeah, I had the dude... Do you watch Pawn Stars?
A little bit. I just kind of watch whatever's on, and lately what's been on my TV is Storage Wars, and I haven't really changed it. So that's kind of been what's been enveloping me lately, and I've really fallen into it. I'm pretty deep in the game right now.
That's the one with the big tattoo guy, right? And they fight over the storages. I think.
It is, and everyone gets so fired up about it, and I love it because it doesn't seem like something you get that fired up about, but then once you start watching it, I get it. I'm like, wow, this is intense stuff. Like, I kind of want to get into it. I'm going to start going out and, I I want to creep up on the people on that show and just be the guy who outbids everyone. And
just to piss everybody off.
So I can be on the show. Yeah, I just want to be on the show. That's all. Like, I don't really want anything. I just want to, it's camera time, man. Right. Camera time on Storage Wars is what I aspire to have.
That's ball, dude. We actually had Rick, the main guy from Pawn Stars, here on the Gun Show, and
nice.
Yeah, that was a fucking blast. So who knows? You never know. If you don't know, now you do know. You never know. So awesome. Jordan, the Ready Set, great speaking with you. You're doing a new music video for Give Me Your Hand, though, an official one, correct?
Yes.
Eventually, a couple months.
Yeah. Yeah, should be start working on it in like July. So hopefully it'll be out shortly
before Christmas.
That.
Before Christmas.
Yeah. So when I say July, I mean it might get worked on in August, and it'll be out sometime before 2015.
There you go.
Yeah.
Awesome, dude. You're a great American. You talked to my intern, Caroline, the producer.
I did. That's great. You're officially a big shot. I've never had a call from the Gun Show and had it not be you. So you have made it. Yeah. Intern, I love it.
Yeah, cool. Lucky me.
Lucky you.
Only if you saw what she looked like, and then you'd be like, not lucky.
That's not a nice thing to say.
She's right in front of me. She's a great American, just like you. Later, dude. Love you, dude.
See you, man.